Now that she's had her shot against him and she's severely damaged him with that New York Times piece and this complaint, which she managed to get leaked, now she wants a complete gag order. Now he needs to be shut down to protect her. This is very unfair to poor Blake. Why should Justin be able to release snippets to the media without the full context? That's what she said. That's what she did. I will happily participate in releasing any further leaks that they have because the truth should be out there. What does she have to fear if she's telling the truth?
Hey y'all, it's Madison here. Welcome back to where we serve piping hot celebrity drama by the gallon. And oh my, do I have a sweet, scandalous brew for you today. Let's just say the peach fuzz is about to peel off one of Hollywood's glitziest peaches, Blake Lively. Yup, the same star who practically broke the internet with her hair goals and picture-perfect fashion. Apparently, Miss Perfection might have a few dents in that halo. We're diving into the shock heard round Tinseltown, courtesy of none other than Megyn Kelly. She's not tiptoeing around or letting her usual snark do all the talking. No, honey. She's rolled in with a lawyer by her side, unleashing a trove of undeniable receipts that could blow a crater-sized hole in Blake's carefully curated public persona. From texts to calls, insider tidbits, and who knows what else, Kelly is basically telling the world, hold my latte while I drop this bomb. The crux of her revelations, that Blake's meltdown might be more than just an emotional outburst. It might be strategic, engineered from day one to place the blame squarely on co-star and director Justin Baldoni.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megyn. Wait till you see this lawsuit.
Oh boy.
A move that's looking a lot more like a cunning gotcha than a heartbroken star's please. In case you're new to this fiasco, let me break it down. Blake accused Justin of sexual harassment plus a side dish of smear smashing. He fired back with his own fancy lawsuit claiming, guess what? Blake's the real smearer in the house. It's all very he said / she said. Except both sides are brandishing receipts. And when Hollywood pulls out receipts, you know it's gonna be messy.
Like asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Or I could just location share you and then we could...
Now though, you've got Megyn Kelly stepping in as if she's about to moderate the ultimate debate, telling us that none of this started overnight. Allegedly, Blake's squeaky clean image already had some scuffs long before Justin entered the chat. She apparently triggered her own PR meltdown, hopped on a woe is me bandwagon to distract from her own questionable antics, and pinned it all on Justin when she needed escape.
And she was such a brat that she wanted to control every scene, wanted to see all the dailies, wanted to do her own cut and did her own cut of the movie. All this is very unusual for just an actress in the film, even if she's the lead, and that she's now tried to turn this whole thing into a PR victory for her to get past what appears to be the fact that she is an egotistical bully.
For another.
If you should
I'm not getting beard on you today.
I'm probably getting a spray tan on you.
That smells good.
Well, it's not that. It's my body makeup.
Add that to the latest revelations about behind-the-scenes intimidation tactics, and we might be looking at a calculated dethroning of Mr. Baldoni from his own movie. If the thought of Blake turning on Justin wasn't enough, rumor has it she roped in her besties Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds for moral support. And maybe a little more than moral support. Whispers say she leveraged their star power to intimidate producers, forcing them to meet her demands, or else...
As often happens when these stars drop a movie, people start digging around for other interviews of them, etc. And it was just sort of a course of, wow, like, she seems like kind of a jerk. Wow, she's like kind of a bully. She's rather mean.
And let's be real, Taylor Swift is a pop colossus whose fans can practically break the internet with a single tweet. Ryan is a comedic god in film circles, beloved by big studios. If Blake's using them like pawns in some cosmic chess match, that's a Hollywood meltdown in the making. People are calling it an even bigger fiasco than the time someone let James Corden do a live musical in traffic, if you catch my drift. One of the juiciest angles is the rumored parallel to Amber Heard, who famously tried to paint herself as the ultimate victim, only for the narrative to flip once the full evidence came out. Did Blake glean some tips from the Heard fiasco, thinking she could manipulate the media in a similar style? Because that's precisely what Megyn Kelly is hinting at.
Ryan Reynolds comes off terribly. He had them over to their penthouse in New York, and Taylor Swift was believed to be there, according to this latest complaint, who's Blake Lively's BFF. And what they allege is that they blacked out a lot of names, but we think it's Taylor, that the three of them sat there and they berated Justin for things that were going on the set that they didn't like. They took control of the script. Blake personally, with Ryan's help, rewrote scenes. Again, not within the purview of an actress. And then after that, they have text messages in which Blake tells Justin, this is in the latest lawsuit, I know you've never watched Game of Thrones, but when you get around to watching it, you'll realize I'm Khaleesi and these are my dragons. And I have the best dragons in the business, right? Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. And what they're alleging is that, let's face it, none of us has ever heard of Justin Baldoni before this whole thing. I mean, who the hell is he? I guess he's in some small thing I never saw. But she's saying, F with me and we'll crush you. My dragons and I, the biggest movie star, one of them in the planet, the biggest pop star in the planet, and I will hurt you.
The NYT piece that hammered Justin was so suspiciously timed and curated, it mirrors the Heard Son fiasco from years ago. We all remember how that ended. Amber's carefully orchestrated version eventually collapsed. So if Blake truly took her cues from that scandal, she might be strolling straight into a PR blender. Because as the Meltdown watchers know, public sympathy can flip with the snap of a screenshot, no pun intended. If you thought the standard he said, she said routine was enough, think again. Newly leaked on-set clips, emails, and text messages basically drive a steamroller through some of Blake's claims. She's insisted Justin harassed her with improvised intimate moments, called out her weight, and waltzed into her space uninvited.
They literally were moving text in between text and emojis to sort of make it sound worse.
The alleged fat shaming that Ryan Reynolds went off on him over, that's all over her lawsuit that he's been excoriated for in the press, the left-wing press, was when he went to it was either his trainer or her trainer or the trainer on the set. And he asked how much Blake weighs. And that it was like, how dare he, right? How dare. Turns out Justin Baldoni, this has been documented, has serious disc issues and was actually in the hospital for like 2 months after this film wrapped because of his disc issues and was worried because he had to pick her up in a scene.
Then these receipts pop up showing, whoops, she invited him to her trailer when she was busy pumping. Another bombshell. The offensive image a producer showed her was an artistic childbirth photo for reference, not some raunchy R-rated flick. You see the pattern? For every Blake said X, Justin's team shows proof that no, it was actually Y, leaving fans to wonder who's fudging the narrative. Let's not forget the fat shaming fiasco. Blake claims Justin targeted her postpartum body by asking how much she weighed. Cue outraged fans. But the receipts say Justin has a chronic back problem, needed to do a scene lifting her, and was clarifying if it was physically feasible for him. So was it hateful or just logistical? Her meltdown about that apparently led to a confrontation with Ryan Reynolds, who summoned Justin to the penthouse for a scolding. Now, that's what I call a dramatic power move. But again, the question swirl. Did Justin really do anything harmful? Or was Blake warping the situation to appear victimized? Lively's lawsuit also claims no intimacy coordinator was on set, leading to unplanned intimacy. Then we hear that in multiple interviews, Blake openly references the presence of an intimacy coordinator. So which is it, girl? Because it can't be both. The suspicion is that she's shape-shifting her story to fit whatever argument she's peddling. Now that Justin's camp is dropping all these damaging pieces of evidence, what does Blake do? She petitions the court for a gag order, effectively trying to muzzle Justin's legal team. Because as the leaks keep coming, each new snippet appears more incriminating for her. At this point, gagging the other side reads like desperation, like she's run out of spins for her PR strategy. Like, if everything she said were 100% valid, wouldn't she want the video evidence out there exonerating her? The contradiction is glaring and fans are noticing. So, is Blake done for? The question remains, is Blake's entire meltdown rigged from the start? Did she meticulously orchestrate a takedown of Justin, steal his project, overshadow him at the premiere, revise key scenes with Ryan's comedic flair, and then cry foul when public sympathy started slipping away? Or did Justin manipulate the narrative to brand her as a cunning mastermind? We can't fully judge yet, but the tide sure seems to be turning in Justin's favor, especially with someone like Megyn Kelly banging the Blake's a liar drum. Her meltdown might be here front and center for the entire world to witness. So, where do you stand, my scandal-loving sweet peas? Do you think Blake's meltdown is the result of her own orchestrations? Or is she just a misunderstood actress caught up in Hollywood's brutal rumor mill? Let's talk about it down below. And of course, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for all the Piping Hot exclusives to come. Until next time, stay messy, stay blessed, and keep that teacup handy, because you know we'll be back with more sizzling tea the second we get it. Adios, babes.